This presentation is about ways of responding for English 1302. Now that you know about the they say section of the research paper, we're going to start talking about the I say section of the research paper. In this section, you will be responding. You will be giving your opinion and your argument for your topic. So we have to know, how do we respond to scholarly works about your topic? There are three ways that you can respond: agree, disagree, and a combination of both. But you don't want to wait too long to make your position known. When we do the final research paper, you will be putting your position in your thesis statement, which will be in the introduction. And we do this because we want the reader to know right away in the introduction what your position is. The reader needs to know where you are on the map. So imagine that your topic is a map of the United States, and different positions are represented by different locations on that map. Perhaps New England and the East Coast is all the pro side, and the West Coast is all the con side, and then there's a lot of different perspectives in the middle. The reader needs to know if you're on the East Coast, if you're on the West Coast, if you're in the middle in maybe Kansas or Nebraska, or maybe you're a little bit closer to the East Coast in Tennessee or Kentucky. Either way, the reader wants to know where you are. It needs a preview of what your position is. The complexity of your argument can always be explained later once you've established this. So briefly establish it in the introduction, and you'll be able to expand on it more in your I Say section. If you disagree, you also need to explain why. You must offer persuasive reasons why you disagree, because you're disagreeing with a scholar, with somebody who's published, with somebody who might even be an expert in this field. So your word, in order to be persuasive, has to be backed up with some reasons why you disagree. Some of the reasons include: the author fails to take relevant factors into account, it's based on faulty or incomplete evidence, it rests on questionable assumptions, uses flawed logic, is contradictory, or overlooks what you take to be the real issue. Any of these reasons would be good ones to use to explain why you disagree with someone or an article or an essay. There are also two moves that you can make if you disagree. One is the dumb move. This is where you disagree not with the position, but with the assumption that it is new or stunning. This move is most likely going to be used if you are in a humanities field and you're writing a paper for your specific field. This would be the sort of thing that happens a lot in literary criticism, where you have to always show how your argument is something new or different. There's also the twist move. This is where you agree with the evidence that someone else presented, but you show through a twist of logic that it supports your own contrary position. This is an advanced move that can earn you a lot of credit with your reader if you can show that the other person's evidence actually ends up supporting your own argument. Next, you can agree but with difference. You need to do more than simply echo the views of someone you agree with. Imagine that you're in a class that requires class participation, and you come to class one day and all your colleagues did in that class was say, "I agree, I agree." Would you really think that they were contributing to the conversation? Would you expect that they should get just as many participation points as other people in the class who might give explanations why they agree or disagree? Most likely, you probably wouldn't expect that they are true participants in the conversation and that they shouldn't get their participation credit. That's the same thing here. You have to do more than just say you agree. How is your argument new? Show that you are a valuable participant in the conversation. Show a difference or contrast between your position and the one you're agreeing with. I'll give you an example from my own writing. When I was working on my dissertation, I struggled a lot with showing how my argument was new or different than that of a scholar named Robin D.G. Kelley. I was writing about the Lindy Hop and how Black working class men such as Malcolm X found the Lindy Hop to be something that gave them freedom from their day-to-day daily grind. Eventually, I was able to figure out a way that my argument was different by adding the component of really delving into the Lindy Hop and what Malcolm X said about the Lindy Hop. This way, I could use Robin D.G. Kelley's work about Black working class men, but I added the element of the Lindy Hop on top of that to show how I was different or bringing something new to the conversation. This is something that you need to be able to do if you are agreeing with a scholar. However, agreeing with somebody can give you credibility, so you definitely do want to agree with people. The same way with me and my dissertation. Agreeing with Robin D.G. Kelley, an expert in the field of Black studies, really gave my work some credibility. The third thing that you can do is agree and disagree simultaneously. This is the combination of both selection. There are many different templates, some of which I've put here on the screen for you. There's the yes but move and the no but move. Each of these you agree with one part and you disagree with another part. There's also the two minds, I'm of two minds or mixed feelings move. This is where you discuss how on one hand you might agree and on the other hand you disagree. Take a look at these templates as well as the ones that are available to you on eCampus for more information about how you can use them in your own paper.